Hey Scorpio! So it's me Alexis. Welcome back to my astrology channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a special treat. You guys will be getting a full moon horoscope. The horoscope will specifically be about the full moon that's happening on August 15th at 22 degrees Aquarius. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this horoscope. Now, this horoscope is going to apply if you are a Scorpio sun or rising. So let's get into it. Now, Scorpio. This whole full moon shenanigans thing is happening in your 10th house and your 4th house. Aquarius is ruling your 4th house, and then Leo is ruling your 10th house. So, another thing to note is that the Sun and Venus are currently in Leo right now. At the full moon, they're going to be in Leo, and they're going to be super conjunct, and they're going to be opposing the moon in Aquarius, which is in your 4th house. So that's what's going on. And then on top of that, Saturn is in Capricorn right now, and that is in your 3rd house right now, transiting wise. So now that I painted the picture, let's go ahead and explain what's going on. So with the Sun and Venus conjunct together in your 10th house, you've been really focused on your career, your life purpose, your life path, what you're meant to do. Like, you've been trying to answer the question of, what am I supposed to do in this world? And for you've been trying to shape that path in such a way where it fits with your identity. Because with a Leo midheaven and, having Leo rule your 10th house, whatever path you really set yourself on, it has to be a path that is reflective of you. And you've been trying to, reconnect with that sense of purpose with the Sun and Venus connection. And this could also kind of affect your relationships in terms of those who are helping you get to that, success that you've been wanting to go for. So this is a time for you to kind of think about like your career moves, your goals, stuff like that. And the full moon is going on in your 4th house, which is the house of the home. It's the house of the upbringing, your parents, your family, your living space, your safe space, stuff like that. So as of right now, you've been focusing on your career a lot. You've been focusing on doing those career moves and really just getting out there in the world. However, with this full moon happening in Aquarius, the thing that's, going on for you, the full moon is telling you, hey, you can be at work all day long, but at the end of the day, there is always a home that you have to go home to. And this is something that you really need to think about. So maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were working really hard, you guys are being a workaholic maybe, and to the point where you're kind of, forgetting your sense of comfort or forgetting your sense of grounding, because the 4th house is the house of grounding. And, with this full moon, it's telling you like, hey, check on your home matters. Is everything in your house okay? Like, how's your housemates? How's your family members? How's your roommates? And, how's everything going on at home? Like, do you feel comfortable at home right now? Like, how's it going for you? The reason why I want to ask you this is because, the full moon's asking you, of course. And then Saturn is, transiting your 3rd house. And the 3rd house is the house of communication, it's the house of thinking, it's the house of writing, your siblings, your neighbors, your classmates, all of that is in your 3rd house. So the purpose of all of this really, with Saturn transiting your 3rd house, you've been focusing on really, refining your mindset. You've been working on refining, your thoughts, maybe the people in your life, so like your siblings and your classmates especially, or your neighbors. Like, that has been something you've been working on for a while, ever since Saturn hit Capricorn. And because of that, that's why you gotta focus on the home matters. Like, I don't know how this will manifest for you personally, but maybe this is a call for you to think about like, hey, how's your sister doing? Maybe you should call her up. Or how's your brother doing? Maybe you should have a little talk with him, check up on him, or maybe check up on anyone in your family, stuff like that. And I will say that with this sentiment, there's this implication that your living space and your sense of grounding will have, it'll be affected by the way you think. And that's been your goal lately. The goal for you, like with the Saturn, transiting your 3rd house, is having a structured, realistic, mature sense of thinking and communicating. And it starts by having a good place to think. And what better place to think about is, your house or like your living space. Like, think of your living space as like your resting place, your place to really think about things, your place to really, form that mindset. And if that environment is not really good for you, it doesn't matter what kind of power moves you're making out there in the world. If you have no home to come home to, if you're not paying attention to your house or like your living situation, it's not gonna, do well for you. Because I mean, like, if there's like a really good message for, this full moon for you, is that you gotta really establish that whole home sweet home kind of feel. Because as of right now, for you, it may be like a home, who is she kind of thing. No, this time around, you need to, like, establish the home sweet home kind of feel. I mean, you're doing great out there in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, you're doing those power moves out there, and that's great. However, eventually the workday is going to end. Eventually, you're going to have to think about something else other than your career. And this full moon is telling you, like, hey, let's think about, how you are in your living space. Let's think about your safe space. Let's think about your sense of comfort, because you need that space of comfort so that you can have a structured, mental mindset. You can't think well, you can't write well, you can't communicate well if you're not in a place where, you're encouraged to. So let's go ahead and make those changes. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get your tarot reading done. Okay. Okay. This is going to be your cards. Right here. Interesting. So here is your spread. I got the Nine of Swords reversed. I got the Four of Wands. And I got the Seven of Swords reversed. So, let me think about this for a second. So, a lot of this full moon is a lot of it is really about your mind. Okay, literally with the Two Swords cards that I got here. With the Nine of Swords, this shows that lately you've been trying to relinquish any limiting thoughts or any limiting or restricting thought patterns that you've been having for yourself. This could be, a manifestation of you being like, okay, no more negative self-talk, or hey, no more, self-criticism. It's time to think a little bit positively. It's time for me to kind of, empower myself through my thoughts. Like, I can see that work being done. Now, with the Seven of Swords reversed, this is your goal. Your goal is, whenever you go out into the world, you don't want to do any corruption. You don't want to do anything shady. You don't want to do anything that is risky and ultimately detrimental for you. Like, this is you with the want that, whatever you do in the world or whatever you do with your life purpose, you want to do it ethically. You want to do it in a way where it's safe and healthy. Because usually with the Seven of Swords, this shows a person who's trying to grasp onto something that's not actually theirs, or grasping onto something wrongly to the point where, like, they can get the stuff that they want, but it's gonna hurt. And for you, you don't really want that. You want to, do your career right. You want to do things right, basically. Right and healthily. And the way to do that, though, is, I mean, yes, like doing solitary work on, eliminating, negative thoughts and, having that sense of ethics within you to kind of do your life purpose right or career right. Like, that's good stuff. However, I think it could really, really improve if you have the Four of Wands in your life. And this is kind of like the house of, not the house, the card where you get to celebrate with other people and just having a good time with other people. And I think that, you deserve this. So maybe you're at a point in your life where you really want to do everything by yourself and you're at a point where you're just kind of like, okay, self-improvement starts with me and only me, and you've been relentlessly working. Scorpio, I know that when you want something, you work really hard at it, and that's really endearing. However, I think with the Four of Wands, I do think that, it's okay to hang out with people. It's okay to have fun, It's okay to be with the people that you love. I mean, with the third house and the fourth house thing kind of going on, I wouldn't be surprised if, if this is your family. So, like, maybe spend some good time with your loved ones or your roommates, your siblings, maybe, if, for this reading. With this, I would say that, when it comes to self-improvement, you're doing a great job already, and I think you're scared that, like, maybe you're gonna do something wrong or something shady, and then eventually it's going to screw you over somehow. But I think by, reconnecting with people and knowing what they want and really just, having a good relationship with people, I think it'll help you prevent you from doing shady things like this. Because having, other perspectives, by having a good time with other people, stuff like that, that's really going to help you out during this full moon. So, yeah, Scorpio, don't get yourself too stuck within your thoughts or by yourself. It's okay to take a break sometimes, and it's okay to kind of, enjoy your time with people. So, yeah, this is kind of like, my deck's way of saying, like, hey, stop picking up some shifts and start picking up some people to hang out with. Cough, cough, your family or your roommates or, people who really make you feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to feel comfortable within yourself. And usually when someone acts really corruptively or they do something that is shady, they're acting from a place from a lack of security. And for you, you've been wanting to secure yourself mentally and you've been doing the work, but hey, sometimes, just hanging out with the right people and having a great time with them, that can help you out too. So, yeah, that's pretty much your reading, Scorpio. Again, this reading applies if you are a Scorpio sun or rising, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.